right, Xplo, we are back live in action in the final match of the day. Still here, still going strong, and we are seeing no comp changes from either of these teams. They liked what they had going on Ascent as far as composition-wise goes. They're comfortable with what they're doing, and we are live. First to 13, and we are looking at an A push right off of the bat.
Yeah, I just want to talk about this this defensive setup that we're looking at from Indiana real quick. Normally, you have 2A, 2B, 1C. That's like and the C is normally a cipher, right? This is really interesting. So they've done 2C, 2A, and one in garage to link into B. It's a really interesting format, and I think because some teams are more reluctant to push down the middle, it's really gonna see how adaptable that Team Disaster can be, because if they see this hole, they can run straight through it and get a plant down. But starting off early, for anyone who's not aware, bans are exactly the same. We did jump straight into the game. Asian bans are exactly the same. No breach, no jet. And we're on Haven. Ascent was Indiana's map, and Bind seemed to be, for the most part, Disaster's map. But now we're opening up on Haven. Who's going to find the first frag? It's Nyx. That's a good start. But though Zypher trades it straight back, and Saw finds one. Cole finds another. But Zypher is trying to hold it down. Denny finds him straight away. And well, this is looking good for Team Disaster straight off the bat. But it's cheat code, so you can't count him out right now. He needs to get this spike cam dart off him. And he needs to work wonders with this Ghost right now, trying to get any sort of headshot. One pick and he's in. But he's not moved out of the cover. That's really poor. He really needs to find a headshot there. And the recon bolt's going to spot him out, no problem. And he's really struggling to make anything happen. 10 health, one shot, and he's gone. If any of these peek out of turn, well, even if they didn't peek out of turn, Kolb has it locked down. And whatever post-game talk they had, it seems to be working. And Team Disaster, well, they're 1-0 up.
And usually you don't read too much into a pistol round win, but with the way that Ascent went for Team Disaster, for them to be able to come out with some authority, only lose 2 players, take the site, get the spike planted, play the post plant perfectly, and get rid of cheat code without him being able to use a heal or anything and make the round more interesting than it needed to be. The mental effect of that is absolutely massive, and it looks like we're going into a second pistol round as they have opted to keep 5 ghosts, and cheat code making his presence felt as if almost to punish that.
That's a risky ult orb if I've ever seen one, but luckily they didn't just spam it where it's pinged, and well, that's a lack of map knowledge certainty and knowing where that ult orb is. Or what? It was a pretty killable, easy pick, but nevertheless, Team Disaster are 1 down, and Indiana are trying to make something happen. Xenos! Well, someone's been doing grid shot in the break. This man, he's back in game, and he's ready to win his money. It'll only be a shame if that's the only kill he gets today, but in this game. But one more, and he'll be doing twice as good as he was last time. But Nyx runs the cheat code, and cheat code dies without a kill for what must be the first round ever. But Kolb, he's showing up big. Kolb is ready. They've realized the stakes, and now it's just Shax to try and do the most. He's only got a classic, so he's gonna need to use his precision and his speed. But well, that's not the way to do it. Running straight in is poor, and quite frankly, it's probably the worst thing he could have done. Denny finds the kill, and it's 2-0.
And it could not be more encouraging to see Kolb pick up some of the fragging that we saw from him in pool play. Hasn't died yet, still staying alive, and able to add 4 frags on in 2 very, very important rounds, not only for the scoreboard, for the mentality of Team Disaster. Letting a little weight off of the shoulders of Xenos and off of Soar, as they've both been relegated to the bottom of the scoreboard. However, when you're up 2-0, you take what you can get. Fortunately, the save for both teams has allowed this to be a true rifle round for both parties.
Yeah, well, Strats is still trying to give it. Cheat code's already down, and if you don't give Arena space to breathe, she's essentially just a blank agent with nothing to do. But Strauts needs to make an impact, trying to fight through a box that can't be fired through, and he's about to get curveballed, and this team looks nothing like what we saw on Ascent, and I think the map really helped them. Nyx, he's back, Saw's back, and all Team Disaster are back.
that looked like they were cleaning up eco frags. The way in which they took that site, they got found by a dart, didn't pay it any mind, able to take cheat code out early. Absolutely fantastic play. Kolb showing up in a big way, Nyx showing up in a big way, Denny showing up in a big way, clearing out site, Soar able to clean it out. Xeno's able to fill his role a lot better than we have seen him. He's not necessarily needed to be the major big-time fragger. He's able to play that support role and staying alive, being able to deliver smokes. However, we are starting out on an ego, and we are going to see aggression that we have not seen from this side of Indiana.
Wow. Interesting strategy that involves leaving the site empty. I mean, not my particular favorite. I can see what they're trying to do. They're just trying to rush through and intimidate them and get a bunch of kills early on, but yet another plan foiled. The Trent has the awareness, and now they know. We could be seeing at least one pick. There it goes. Cheat code gets a little bit of momentum, takes out Stork, who was stuck in there in his own spawn. But now they're gonna go for the retake. It is a 3v5, so it is possible. Denny's moving paranoid. He's just trying to get close to the door so we can see him. Curveball needs to hide, and he will. Cheat code finds Kolb. Kolb gets one before he dies. Denny trying to get a curveball. This is really tough. He's gonna get two. It's possible. Maybe another one if he can, but Singularity's just too fast. And Denny could have been on for something truly incredible. But it looks like Zypher and Co are gonna get their first round on the board. They're not done yet.
That is an absolutely massive round for them. And in that eco, while it does look a little bit fishy to see them push 5 down mid, when you're on Sheriffs and you really don't have much hope in the round, if you play a default defensive setup, you have to do something a little bit crazy and a little bit aggressive. And the way that they took down the opening pick in mid, and then were able to isolate, Soar back in spawn. That gave them 2 rifles and a 2-man advantage going into a 5v3 retake. And even though Denny gave it his best effort, able to collateral, get 2 kills with 1 bullet, that is just not enough, as they were able to overwhelm and get those eco frags and get themselves on the scoreboard and get themselves very comfortably into a gun round instead of being on the precipice of economic disaster.
Yeah, well, they've learned from their mistakes that involved nearly throwing an entire round because they all ran through mid, and a more conservative defensive approach now. And Zypher using his camera diligently, and we're looking like we're going to A. No one's sitting on long waiting, but there is going to be 2 players waiting to peek this angle straight away. Singularity finds 1, Singularity finds 2, and he is feeling real good on this Phoenix. I think if he was playing Phoenix the whole way through the tournament, we might not be where we are right now. And, well, it's a 4v3. The Neural Death's up, but so is the Hunter's Fury, but it might as well not be there because no one seems to be able to get any kills with it. But Kolb has a recon, a shock dart, and when he has a shock dart, he can get a kill because he's Kolb, and I don't know how he does it. He's inhuman. But Xenos tagged up by the camera. Very nice camera placement, I must say. Zypher is doing a wonderful job with that, but Xenos trying to make an impact. He doesn't know that there's a player hiding right next to him. Wow, Paranoia should find 2 kills here. Shax, that's a masterclass on defending the site. The discipline to not come out and just try and get a bunch of kills. Well, for a man who's been invisible for a lot of these games, he's just won a round for them.
Fantastic play by him. The trigger discipline and the wherewithal to realize that if he loses that, if he comes out and loses the duel, the retakes all coming from one place. He had his paranoia ready. He stayed patient, he stayed calm, and he was able to execute on that retake while he didn't need anyone else there. It shows extreme mental fortitude to be able to be that patient in a game of this magnitude and is able to steal away a 2nd round. And that is going to relegate Team Disaster. Started off very hot. They are in a precarious economic position. Light armor on everyone. 2 Vandals, 2 Sheriffs, and a Spectre in the hands of Xenos. And he's going to need to come online and stop the bleeding.
Yeah, Singularity 1 kill away from his run it back, and when he has to run it back, he gets more kills than he normally does when he only has 1 life. So he'll be looking forward to that. But Xenos is trying to hide from this owl drone. As another owl drone for the other team is flying through A long to no reception. And Shax feeling good after carrying his team to victory in that last round. Waiting diligently as the game almost freezes, but hang on. cheat code is set by C Long, and he finds Saw straight away. That's an excellent positioning to not just go all the way around on the flank, have the know-how to figure out they're probably going to go to this site. And he finds a pick because of it, not the spike pick, but as he retreats onto C, he should be pretty happy with himself. Nice from Nyx to take out the recon bolt straight away. The recon bolt isn't as effective on high ranks just because it's taken out a lot quicker. And that's a complete waste of the Emperor Singularity, making sure no one can get through. Shaq's also showing up. He's starting to wake up a little bit. But in the end of the day, Denny's not going to be able to take on a 1v4 with all ultimates. It's 3-3. And what seemed like a little bit of a runaway train has come back to an equals footing.
3 rounds in a row to start off for Team Disaster, and 3 rounds coming back for Indiana. And it's coming into the dogfight that we kind of thought it might be. We knew that Team Disaster was very good on bind. We knew that Indiana was really, really good on ascent. And really the great unknown was this third map of Haven, and each team has shown that they have what it takes to win gun rounds. They know what it takes to anti-eco. They can even pick up an eco round, and we are really seeing the best out of both of these teams, which is impressive considering how long they have been online for this day.
Yeah, well, it takes endurance. We've seen everything. We've seen great plays and aim. We've seen mental fortitude. We've seen, you know, endurance. These guys have been playing all day, and even in the games they haven't been playing, they've been warming up. So they're about as tired as we are. Maybe not their voices, but I'm just really sad. It's been a while since I've talked for this long straight away, but Nyx looking for something. Hunter's Fury! Nyx, by the skin of his teeth, barely gets away. And still, they've got one last game to try and beat the Hunter's Fury record of 1. So, if we don't beat that record with the 2 best teams, I don't know what to tell you. Here comes the Hunter's Fury now. Maybe a chance.
Nope.
Why is everyone so bad? It makes me so upset as a Server 1 trick, and someone who likes to say that they're pretty good at the Hunter's Fury, that we haven't seen a single. Well, no, I think we've seen 1 kill. Yeah, we've seen 1 kill in 2 separate games, and that's been the record. So we've had 2 ties. Surely, the 2 best servers in this competition can do that.
Fortunately for the Sovas, the redeeming quality for Kolb in that scenario and Shrouds on the other side is that they've used the ultimate not necessarily to get the impact frags that you sometimes see out of a Sinatra or out of a Hiko or out of one of those top level Cypher, or excuse me, the top level Sova players where you almost guarantee yourself a kill. They have been able to use it as kind of a distancing tool. The way that Kolb used it there is if they were having any thoughts about retaking from anywhere on that defender spawn side, they had no chance to do it because they did not have the help and they didn't have the time. It forced a save and stemmed the bleeding for Indiana University. Or excuse me, stemmed the bleeding for Team Disaster.
Yeah, well, I don't know how I haven't used this pun yet today, but Team Disaster looking for this game to not be a disaster. How have I not come up with that? I'm British, wordplay is my thing. I don't know why I haven't. How have I not done that? Someone explain that one to me.
I thought you had the integrity to not go there.
Shut up. Anyway, well, here comes the run it back. Cheat code quickly dispatched off. No problem, mate. Do it again. See you later. But when he's faced with a real opponent, Xenos gets the better of him, sadly. And Shrouds barely gets past the curveball, but he's taken out after 1. And, well, it's only Singularity. He's not on site. And he's going to have to do a retake of his own. Nice flick to the head. He's on. He's tuned in. Now it's a 2v1, 2 ultimates, a neural theft if he wants to from the shadow, sends him all the way back to defender spawn. So he's got to make quick work. In here, alright then, Singularity mate, that's fine. I hope you know this is the grand final map 3 with $1,000 on the line, but
he was,
I suppose. That's Xenos, we'll take those.
In his defense, that is a very common position to set up a crossfire on that sight hold, and it does take a lot of shots through that angle through the box. So you know, if you're in that situation, you take a little bit of a risk. If you are able to get the wall bang through that, you look brilliant. If you don't get the wall bang through that, you look a little bit like that. Not necessarily what you would want to see, but fortunately enough money to buy into this round, and Cheat Code makes them pay right off of the rip for getting a little bit too curious on mid.
Yeah, well, Cheat Code, he switched off a little bit since Ascent, but he's back now, trying to make an impact, going for a 1vx, and he's all for it. Gets one before he's taken down, so he's got 2 total. It's a pretty good trade, I'll take that. But up goes the neural theft now, and the positions are revealed. Maybe not the most useful neural theft ever, but neural theft nonetheless, and that's information that they will very much take. But no utility for Saw. He's only got a cyber cage he can maybe use to try and get on this site, but up against another Cypher. He's gonna get tagged up. Cypher, very nice onto Denny, gets that headshot. Now he can only focus on one angle to play from, but Saw, he's too quick. Finds Cypher. These two Cyphers have been at each other's throats this entire series!
Oh.
Saw almost finds the ace with the Scrapey transfer, and that would have been great, but Cole manages to clean up anyway.
Turning
and
that
Saw is having a dream.
Saw turning that 3v2 into a 2v1. Absolutely glorious on the spray transfer. A little bit of RNG there as they kind of walked into that spray, but nonetheless being able to really open that up. And with the way that Cheat Code started that off, getting 2 picks down mid, taking it to a 5v3, eventually a 4v3 when he fell. That's really all you can ask from your Reyna on the defensive side, and the fact that they were unable to hold that A site despite having that man advantage is not a great sign. That round looked like it was going to go in the hands of Indiana University, and Singularity doing his best to keep his team in it, breaks out the operator and is able to land a frag, but we saw how this turned out. Team Disaster, very, very comfortable in those odd man situations, able to clutch up in the ways that real champions are able to do, but I don't know if they're going to be able to pull that off twice in a row.
Yeah, well, that's a nice pick, and they'll take it. The man who seems to be very on form, considering we just completely murked everyone last round, is now out of the picture. But that's not a very nice operator miss. Cheat Code is in an interesting position. He's completely wide open, but he almost got 2 there. Colby's very, very low. 1 tap and he's out. Then he's healing up though. Singularity making use of this operator. Haven't seen it in his hands too much, but he's making great use of it. He's on 3. Straps finishes up 4-6, and just when you think that one team might start to get a few rounds on the board, the other team comes in and tries to make sure that that money is theirs.
It really is turning into the dogfight that we thought all of the maps of this grand final would be. Singularity breaking out the operator. We have not seen him use it, I don't think, throughout the entirety of this, and he's not going to use it in this round either. He's going to pass it over to Cypher, really keeping Team Disaster guessing where that operator is going to be. And for a map like this, being able to control an entire lane, whether that be C long, whether that be A long, that is going to play very much into the hands of that defensive squad, something that you needed to do, and we are seeing an aggressive push down mid, a lot of territory being taken.
Well, this is Cheat Code at his best. This is what he does. He runs in, does things that are completely irrational, and gets kills from it. And, I mean, are you going to tell him to stop? No, you're not, because he's getting kills for you, and he's doing it again, and he's got 3, he's on for 4, maybe even for the ace. Singularity steals it away, maybe for the 4. He's on 17 health, he needs to stay alive and save the weapon if he can, and let his teammates get the gun, or the kill, sorry. But Kolb is forced to retreat. Oh well, and that's what Cheat Code does. Vintage Cheat Code, everybody. And there we go. Kolb taken out.
We didn't.
Strats is the hero.
We didn't know what we were gonna get from these substitutes coming on so late into the day. And I'm going to be honest with you, I did not expect anything like what we've seen out of Cheat Code. They went back to the drawing board, realized that they were giving up too much control. They double pushed down mid, took that complete control, and really when you give up that much territory on attack, it splits up. You had people towards A, you had people towards C. He was able to isolate those 1v1 fights. Even when they had an opportunity to trade on him, Denny needed to get that frag. He was unable to do so, and letting Cheat Code get hot could bode very, very dangerous for this Team Disaster squad as they are going into the last round of play on attack, typically the side that is most favored on this map.
Yeah, well, looking like a straight B push, nice and simple, no strings attached. But Cheat Code is now ready and waiting. But here comes the run it back. He's gonna look for a pick. He's flashed himself. Vintage Denny. He walked into the dark cover. Thank God he was using his run it back, because otherwise there'd be a man down right now. But at least they have the information. Up goes from the shadows into heaven. Window. Looking for a tag. He does dink him, but it's not the headshot that they really needed. And Cypher and Shaq's Cheat Code making sure to clear their lines. And Cold is left running yet again. He's looking for a kill. He's found one, maybe on for more. Cypher isn't going to have any of it. And it's 6-6. And, well, you know what they say, good things come in threes, and a good grand final seems to do the same.
That's crazy. We've alternated 3 in a row, 3 in a row, 3 in a row, 3 in a row. So if the pattern stands to repeat itself, we should be looking at a 9-6 scoreline for Team Disaster after the first quarter of this second half. I don't think we're going to see it play out quite as mathematically as it has in that first half. But going on to the defensive side, Team Disaster, with all the momentum kind of sucked out of their attack that they got from the 3 rounds that they did get in a row. And going onto this attacking side is going to play very well into the hands of both Cheat Code and Singularity, running the Reyna and running the Phoenix. They like to keep their foot on the gas pedal on a map like this. That is what you need to do. You need to quickly get onto a site and force them to play retake. If you're able to get a couple of picks, it's incredibly difficult to retake any of these sites.
Yeah, well, we've seen that on Haven, on the maps that we have, on the games we have seen, a lot of teams like to rush A and just completely overwhelm, which works, but it looks like they're taking a little bit more conservative approach, though they're still pushing up pretty high line. Denny has it all to do now, has a curveball to his advantage, and if Singularity is going to go in here, which he is, he's not going to be hit by this curveball when it's thrown. Now he's going to go for more, he's going to find 2, Denny clearing up. And he's going to heal up with his hot hands. And Phoenix is such a good 1vx agent to play. Trapped and Cold trade a little bit. Xenos comes up. And, well, this is not the 1 and 15 Xenos that we saw earlier. Even though he's at the bottom, I mean, he's technically 6 times better than he was last game.
600% improvement. We're not even done with this final map. Absolutely astounding from Xenos. But I will take a 6-10-4 Xenos over a 1-15 Xenos any day of the week, as will his team. And Cold continuing to step up. Denny, 2 huge frags in that garage area, and the math is still checking out, believe it or not. 1 round and very much the advantage. Only Cheat Code with a Sheriff, no armor on any of these attackers, and it's looking like they're just going to run up B and hope for the best.
Yeah. Do you know if when you throw a hot hands of your own onto an enemy one, does it cancel out?
I have no idea. That's a weird interaction.
Oh. Yeah, that was so odd, but he did it, and I was like, is he just going to walk across? But look, talking about walking across, Cypher and Singularity have been completely murked. So has everyone else. They're all dead.
You know,
but
they put themselves.
Sometimes it's like that.
They put themselves into a paper shredder just to get that eco round over with. Really, not too much at stake. You hate to see Cheat Code invest into it and not be able to buy full with his team. However, with the Reyna, he can buy light shield and turn that with 1 kill into full shield for the time being. So not the worst scenario for them. Unfortunately, Singularity is also going, to find himself just based off the utility that he's been purchasing onto light shield. Fortunately, they are going up against significantly less weaponry, as we are seeing 5 Spectres in the hands of Team Disaster. If they're able to force the fights into very tight corners, they do stand a chance at success. However, weaponry speaking, this should not be a round that matters. You're really just looking to do economic damage.
Yeah, well, talking about close quarters, Denny is doing just that, holding the position in garage, making sure no one gets past. That's a nice camera bolt. Cheat Code's forced to back up, and now they got the information, but how they act on it is up to them. And well, I could, if using the power of maths, I will predict that we will see another round win for Team Disaster. And then we will see 3 rounds, and then 3 other rounds.
It's a very bold prediction. leading us to a very
if it
exciting
does,
overtime.
this will be a very interesting grand final. If it does play out like that. But look how close not Zypher, sorry. Look how close Stor and Zypher are, and I don't think they are aware of each other's presence, but they are about to run over a zip wire. They know he's getting the ult orb. He's going to back up pretty quickly just before the wave hits, and now he needs to find a kill. He's taking Shrats down really low, and he hears the spike carrier, so that might buy him a little bit of time, but really could have done with a kill there, and with all the Spectres, well, it's not ideal. Up goes the Leah. Faking a push, really. I don't think they're going to go for anything. They can't really take this fight through the doorway, though. Rifles against SMGs, unless their spray control is masterful. Cold finds Shrats with a shot dart, and it hurts even more that he's a Sova that you've killed. And Denny looking for Zypher. He's firing through at Reyna that is translucent. He's trying to find something. There we go. He's found cheat code, and maybe he's just got a little bit more. 3 bullets in the chamber. He needs to take it out right now. Reload. Cold finds 1 more. And now it's only Shax to do it all. Paranoid goes up, looking to find the diffuser. He will! And Shax is coming up clutch when it's necessary. And, well, pros don't fake, and it looks like Denny is half a pro. Well, no, he's 0% a pro because he also lost, but... well, Shax has been, I think, the new clutch minister.
And you're loving what you see out of that. Shax did everything he had to do to win that round. However, if you are Team Disaster, you can't be mad about how that played out. The fact that everyone died in that round and the way that they went into it, they have enough money to buy rifles, full armor, and have a little bit left over in the bank. Even though Indiana won that round and broke our pattern, unfortunately, the symmetry, the symmetry's off.
Get rid of him. Get rid of him.
Get him out of
here.
No,
not having it. Get him out of here.
They were able to do a good amount of economic damage, and you can see that in the buy that has come out. Light shields on 4 of the 5 players, and the only player with full shield is now dead. Singularity playing with Singularity playing with that Spectre, quick to die, and Denny able to get one through the wall. And
Denny, they call him. No, they don't call him, but they will call him now the Psychic, and I think they have good reason to.
He's done an absolutely wonderful job of playing the role that he's been asked to play, playing just a true entry frag. If they tell him to jump, he says how high. If they tell him to die, he says what site. And he's done a lot to really open up the game for his team, and they find themselves in a 5v3 with a gun advantage. Really no excuse for them to lose this round. Anything is possible, but I don't see them, especially with that B site being where they're ending up, able to I don't see Indiana able to hold any site, even if they are able to get a plant down.
Yeah, well, numbers disadvantage. Well, they've got Hunter's Fury, but that basically counts for nothing in this tournament for no reason. And Denny, well, he's just going to clear up, and he's also going to look for 4. Shrats does find Kolb as a nice little reward for staying alive that long, but looks like they're not too fussed with hunting him either. And they're going to let the clock run down. Shrats maybe could use the ultimate here and if he wants to try and get a cheeky pick, but with how good people are with the Hunter's Fury, what's the point?
And that ult is just a little bit too valuable for him to waste in a round that he has absolutely no chance of winning. And a little bit of breathing room gained by Team Disaster, and the economy in shambles for Indiana University. Really only that saved rifle in the hands of Shroud's going to be able to be carried over, and he is going to just have to buy into Light Shield, and we are going to see pistols maybe upgraded. We're going to see a Frenzy out of Shax. We might just see classics on the rest, and truly disastrous economic position. And this could be the 2nd round in a row, and that would give them a 3-round lead, put them into double digits, and put them 3 rounds away from this grand finals victory. And really doing well to come back after losing the last map 13-1. Need I remind you to have the mental fortitude to come back 5 minutes later and be able to put on the type of performance that we're seeing now.
Wow, Zypher perfectly timed with the Altra, and he has no idea. Cole barely escapes, and he's found a few picks. He's done well in the situation he was put in, but it's a 2v3 now. Now it's a 1v3. It's all up to Singularity to try and hold, and he doesn't get any of the picks that he wants, and we see double digits for the first time. And it's up to Team Disaster to try and take it all.
Team Disaster 3 rounds away from a $1,250 winner-take-all grand prize. And even above and beyond that, they've shown that they have the ability to take the beating that they did take in Ascent and have the mental fortitude to push through just the drain that can be, and show up in a big way. Kolb been absent nearly all of this tournament, showing up with 17 kills to lead the lobby. Denny doing what Denny does best, entering onto site, sitting at 16 kills. An absolutely wonderful play. Cheat Code doing his best to lead the way on his team, sitting at 14 kills. And we have ourselves a grand finals, ladies and gentlemen. A battle for the ages. And it's looking like we're at least drifting towards that A site. Cypher getting his getting a tag off, not able to do anything with it, and no action being taken. No one wants to make that first mistake.
Yeah, well, if you look at the emotional rollercoaster, if you look at all the games, Team Disaster were so close to winning, and then they almost let Indiana back in, so they were a little bit worried about that. Then they got absolutely demolished. So it goes even beyond the second game. The first game surely won it, but, I mean, it wasn't the most graceful win ever. And to come back and do this is, well, remarkable, and this is, might not be the biggest prize pool they'll ever win in their team history, but it's surely one of the most impressive wins. Singularity looking to make something happen with the curveball. He's really got to do better with the spray transfer there, taking out a 9 HP. One turn, he's dead, one pop. And Nyx is able to make the better of him. And they're looking for their 11th Shax. Oh, sorry, no, Kolb with a wonderful shot to Shax. And Cheat Code with it! Oh my wow.
God.
Looking 101 for Cheat Code. Comes out at the last possible second. It was already at half. And he timed that masterfully. And he's kept his team from maybe losing his grip a little bit. And now they're right back in it.
Not a quick enough time coming off of that defuse. Really just trying to stick it was Kolb. And able to control that phantom spray to get those 2 kills. A round that should have come down into a 1v1, but Cheat Code not taking any of that to heart and able to control the spray and really putting the team on his back and getting them an incredibly crucial round win. Expensive win, but a win nonetheless. They do find themselves at an economic disadvantage. However, if they are able to carry that momentum and win this round, we have most likely a 10-10 scoreline going into the last 6 rounds. Yeah, well, Commie, if it's anything to smile about, we have outpredicted my cat, so that's good. She said it would be a wipe, and Nyx, wow, he's got to do better there with that operator, and he's laid again. Cheat Code masterly with the Reyna, out-Reyna's his clone. Well, up goes the neural theft. And they're gonna burst onto the site. Saw is waiting in heaven. But there's no one sat in hell, which is one of the most valuable positions, I'd say, on this site. But Saw is dark covered, he can't really do much, but up goes the run it back. Singularity finds Saw, and then you can dip out and let the run it back timer run down. Cheat Code trying to take out Denny if he comes his way, but he won't, and that's a little bit of a waste of the ultimate. Kolb, though, he's back on. And they've let them onto the site and onto the spike. But Cheat Code is not running away without his money. He's trying to find some. He's found 3, and he's only got 1 more to go. It's Xenos. Cheat Code finds 4 when it matters most. And Cheat Code absolutely willing his team to victory, an absolutely must-win round for them. They had no money in the bank. They had no credits left. They didn't have, most of them only had light shield, and Cheat Code able to execute onto the site, able to dodge the operator shot from Nyx, one that he is going to want to have back, able to isolate him, take care of that operator, and then execute onto site. And even as things started to crumble around him, he had the wherewithal to stay put, get the first frag, able to take care of Denny trying to trade, and absolutely brilliant. That has put Team Disaster down to an eco round and doing what they saw Cheat Code do earlier.
Oh, damage! Oh, oh, don't do it to me! Oh, you mongrel!
So close and yet so far.
They are. I'm convinced they're doing it to annoy me now.
I mean, at this point, there's no other explanation.
Yeah, it can't be that they wouldn't throw in a $1,000 game for my misfortune. There's no way.
I mean, surely not.
bursting onto the site, cheat code and co, take out all the trap wires, and disarm the place. Cheat code no leers, but one pick and he'll be on to the rest of the team. Threats finds Nix on the other side of the map, but Denny there to back his boy up. And that Denny flank is going to be pretty deadly, but it is going to be met. Do know about it. Let's see who comes out on top. It's Cypher. That's a massive kill. That means that the retake is only coming from one direction. Singularity clears up big. Xenos, though, managed to hold on. It's a 1v1. Xenos versus Cypher. And Cypher comes out on top with the superior weaponry and the headshot. It's 10-10.
They can't make any of these rounds easy on my heart. We are so late into the day, and yet they have so much fight left in them, coming down to a 1v1. A defensive eco almost works out in the defending team's favor again, and we are locked in at 10-10, 4 rounds apiece each on this half. 4 rounds left unless we go to overtime, and we have a full gun round, each team in a very precarious economic position. This really does set the tone on who is going to have the advantage going towards that match grand final point.
That was the clock strikes just past midnight over here in the UK, and I've got school in the morning. I'm doing this for you because, well, I'm sure my mother doesn't appreciate me yelling at midnight on a school night, but she understands. Probably not. But Cypher looking for something. I can find it on the camera. Nice cyber cage. Needs to back out. That's been... Oh no, only one person got hit by that shock. I do apologise. Colb opens the fragging though with Shax, who has been the clutch minister in this grand final.
My camera is destroyed.
Probably been taking notes from the other clutch ministers in this tournament. But every team is so careful. I don't know what type of got flash from there. That was very odd. But, well, no one wants to be the one to throw it away. And I feel like this slow style of Valorant is going to get very popular as we head towards overtime. Cypher not even heading into garage, even though there'd be no one there to stop him. G-Code is creeping up. See, Long on his right. He's got a Denny that is just under half health. And he reconvenes with his teammates, and he's been caught out. Now they have the information. Denny taken out really quickly, and they're looking for Colb on the back of the site. They're gonna plant the spike first, with the time is running low. That's well done from him, but Cypher goes down to Colb, and it's a 2v3, and the 2 attackers aren't even on the site yet. Well, Shrouds takes out his Sova counterpart. 2v2. Neural Theft is up, but I think all the corpses have expired at this point. There's not really much point. They do know where everybody is, but they're trying to coordinate. They don't have a lot of time. I think they're going to try and coordinate this retake. Send one in from Defender Spawn 10, one in from Garage. It's a nice recon bot, but I don't think it's spotted Saw. Here comes Xenos and Saw. Saw finds one. He's found his. He's done his job, and Saw finds another. Well, well, well. Team Disaster have taken the 11th round.
Oh
and
my! With
my heart can't take much more.
2.5 seconds to spare. Both players incredibly far away, and Soar goes above and beyond, able to get 2 incredible frags, and we are going to see a mostly full buy. Cypher is going to be relegated to either full shield and an SMG, or light shield and a rifle, depending upon the amount of utility he wants to buy, and he is down to no money. If Team Disaster is able to take this round, they are most likely going to be facing an eco on championship point. Full guns, full utility, everything on the line in this grand finals. And I don't know if I can take much more of this.
Oh wait, I'm live on broadcast, so my heart's going a little bit faster. I've been eating sugar and drinking caffeine for 6 hours. And this is happening. My heart can't take much more.
They really are. It's closer to 7 hours at this point, my friends. And we are seeing a full execute on to the A site, where they have had the most success.
Singularity finds one pick. Saw manages to trade it back, and now they're looking for something. The spike goes down. That's a good start, trying to find the player in hell, but Saw isn't having any of it. It's a 2v4. And all that they wish for has come true. Shrouds really needs to make something happen right now. Otherwise, they might as well say goodbye. And they'll be on match point. But Shrouds isn't done yet. He does find Saw. That's a nice pick, and trying to Uses shock darts to the biggest advantage. He has 2 seconds on his recon ball. He could do this. He's looking for a headshot. Shrouds the super but Denny shuts him out of the last minute.
In a 2v4 retake, absolutely playing out of his mind. Shrouds does everything that he can, takes it down to a 1v1, and Denny shows up massively in that round, and we are going to see every last credit possible spent by Indiana University. Backs up against the wall, light shields, guardians, specters, full shield, a phantom, an incredibly broken buy, and with how expensive that was, we are seeing Nyx and Xenos also on light shield. Backs up against the wall in this moment, in this potentially final round of play. Championship point for Team Disaster.
Well, they've been through it all, and what a story it's been. But Indiana aren't going to give up that easily. Both of these teams are full of troopers, and they're not going to give up until the final kill. It looks like with the Guardian, cheat code's going to try and make his way onto the A site. But actually, they've stepped into the shadows. Shaq said he's stepped into heaven. Very interesting flank, actually. He can get behind everyone if they go to a different site. But, hang on. Cheat codes. About to find Shaq. Oh no, Shaq's have died to Saw straight away. That's their advantage lost. And Saw is find cheat codes as well. And their dream is crumbling right before them. And it's all because of Saw. The camera's taken out quickly. Singularity takes care of the biggest problem, but Xenos is still here. Zypher trades him back at the 2v3. It's doable. And Nyx taken down by Zypher. It's a 2v2. Spike going down. 30 seconds left. Commie, what is happening?
30 seconds
Here
left.
comes the Hunter's Fury. They've got plenty of time. The Hunter's Fury is the worst ultimate in the game. What are they doing? They can't hit anything. I can't take this. Zypher putting down the spike quick enough. He can sit through this recon bolt. He doesn't care. Up goes the camera, and they're ready to get ready for this retake. Denny spotted out. Shrek, the hero of the last round, has 50 HP.
Player remaining.
And he's taken down Cold. There's only one left. It's just Denny, and he's in heaven. He'll have to drop down. If he drops down, there's certain death. He's almost flashed himself. And he's out. It's 11 to 12.
Zypher with a 4K in a 5v3. Only a Guardian and a Dream to his name. And he is finally able to come online. We saw the possibilities from Zypher throughout the majority of this tournament, and he had yet to come online in this final map of our grand final, and he is able to take down 4, and we are seeing a force right back into it. This time on the side of Indiana University, we have 2 light shields. At least they have full rifles, and we are seeing a broken by overtime on the horizon. SMGs in the hand of Kolb, and of the hand of Nyx, and of the hand of Xenos. Who is going to show up big for this defensive side? They need a performance like that we saw from Zypher in that last round. Nobody wants to make that first mistake, and they are leaning heavily towards Garage.
Well, all the shields have gone straight away, and I might pass out in a minute because this is too much excitement. Well, it's all or nothing. This is heartbreak or it's glory for Team Disaster. And well, up goes the Owl Drone. It's a good start. Zypher takes out Nyx, and now they can start to find something here. There's no one on the flank. They've only got one direction to look, as both sides of the site are beginning to get swarmed. But they're not going to go down passively. They're going to try and... It's overtime. They'll have 6,000. Everybody is going to commit to this. And still find Singularity through the back. There's no one on the site. They've completely left the site wide open to try and kill. Nice, Hunter's Fury. This is exactly what it's made for, to stop the defuse. He's sitting on it, damaged, but he's holding, he's sticking it. Sora is sticking it. He's almost done this. Struck off from Shrouds. No way, he's done it. They've gone to overtime.
Backs up against the wall. Absolutely no money to play with. Guardians and light shields, SMGs galore, and Indiana University finds it deep within themselves to be able to take us into overtime. Double elimination. You have to win 2 rounds in a row. You have to win an attack. You have to win a defense. All the momentum on the side of Indiana University. Heartbreak yet again for Team Disaster, coming incredibly close to that defuse. way too close for comfort if you are on the side of Indiana. They are able to pull it off, and money no longer a factor. 5K to start the rounds, no operators, all utility, all rifles, all shield, and we are going to see the defensive side of that Indiana University once again. Team Disaster having to remember the strats that worked, and they are going to play it slow. There is no pressure like overtime, and there is no pressure like game 3 in a grand finals. $250 a player on the line. No one wants to be the first person to make the mistake, and we are seeing them play incredibly passively towards spawn. We are seeing incredibly passive defensive setups, and we are in for a treat. Welcome to Bonus Valorant, ladies and gentlemen. The Built Bar Cup going into overtime.
They're lucky that they're leading C very heavily because they've left A wide open in favor of having 3 players, or 4 players now nearing C. But they have got cheat code on the A long position. And here comes the first frag. It's a trade. Everything's fine. Don't panic yet. It's a trade. That's two players out, and that...
He missed.
An uncharacteristic miss from Kolb. That's a horrible thing. Now they don't have any information. Cypher has found Denny straight away, and they have a shock dart. Shrouds really playing up to Kolb's miss. And of all things to go wrong, a recon bolt is not what you want. But Shrouds able to find Saw it to 4v2. And unless we see a miracle here from Kolb and Co and Xenos, well, I think we're seeing a 13-12. But remember that is not the end of it. They got 14 seconds. They're not going to make it on site in time.
10 seconds left.
And if Chico has anything to say about it, he's going to reach them first. And he's taking out the spy cam dart anyway. He knows can't get the spike down.
He couldn't take out the dart. He decided to go for taking out the dart, and it ran out of time. He only had 3 seconds left when he tried to resume the play, and a horrible mental mistake coming out in the late rounds of this game. And we are starting to see 7 straight hours of Valorant show a little bit of wear and tear on the mental of these players, and going from 2 map match and championship points to being the team with their back up against the wall. Team Disaster is going to have to dig deep on this defensive side, and now Indiana close enough to touch the Built Bar Cup, going in on attack.
Wow. Now the sides have swapped once again, and obviously Team Disaster will be feeling fresh on this attack because they've just got off it. So maybe that has something to do with it. But now they're both back to what they were after 1 round switching. And again, look at these passive setups. This idea of leaving the B site alone and having maybe 1 person just outside the site ready to rotate to A is very smart. I really like it. But it's going to test its wear and tear now as they begin to push onto the B site uncontested. And now it's Cypher putting the spike down. Early spike plant, did what they couldn't before. And it looks like before they've set up their resistance, they're going to try and coordinate, but everyone's already off the site.
5v5 retake.
There is no ultimate, so there's no Hunter's Fury. There are recon bolts, but that's really Kolb's thing. But we'll see
Cypher's flank.
if they decide to steal that tacket. And they're going to try and stick this, but they have nowhere to go. Cypher manages to find Kolb as 1 is traded back. And Nick's through a corner wall finds 1. 2 go down to the side of the attackers, and wow, it's just death everywhere. Cheat code finds 1. Denny with a wonderful headshot. And now it's full health. He needs to stick it.
Cheat code.
Cheat code takes it. The super sub does it for them.
What on God's green earth did we just watch, Xplo? Cheat code coming from God knows where to will his team to victory. A 287 combat score, 24 frags. Absolutely unbelievable. Kolb showed up in an absolutely massive way in that map 3. Singularity showed up when his team needed him most, and Nyx and Xenos nowhere to be found. They had 2 map points, but ladies and gentlemen, your 2020 Built Bar Cup champions, Indiana University. Brilliant play from them. They could not have given us a better game. They could not have given us a better tournament, and they could not have given us a better grand finals. I'm almost speechless at how that final round played out. Xplo, save me here, buddy. Do you have any words to describe what we just witnessed?
This tournament is everything it should have been. It was drama from game 1. We saw number 2 seeds fall out in round 1. We saw the number 1 seed stake their claim. They came here with disastrous rounds on both sides in game 1 and 2. And when it mattered most, both teams took every precaution and every measure. And well, it's not a matter of wanting it more, and it's a matter of taking what opportunities you're given and playing your agent better than your opposition. And that is what they've done today. And $1,250 goes into their pockets, $250 apiece. And well, super subs, man. They make all the difference. And I don't think we could have asked for something better. Maybe I'm not going to wish for a longer one because I think I would have probably died, but oh my god. I know you couldn't see the set at that point, but I was basically on the floor. That was pretty intense. I was almost on the floor. My head was in my hands. I could barely make a sentence correctly.
I am at the end of my rope. That is about all that my heart can take. Xplo, thank you so much for taking my spot in the aquatic basement. You performed wonderfully. You've kept it wonderfully warm for me. Hopefully they've managed to at least throw some candy down to you to keep you sustained for at least the next couple of days before we get you back to the United Kingdom.
Oh, I'm not over it. I'm not over that.
I'm not over it either. If I had a blanket to throw over my head, I would be doing the same. But that is
Why
going.
do I feel like I've played it? I feel like I've finished my game.
But that is going to be all from the desk, and that is going to be all from the aquatic basement. We are going to send it over to wrap things up. LV and Neptune also in the studio. Guys, take it away.
Y'all, I think you can tell from Commie and Xplo's sheer excitement about what just happened. I think excitement's the word to use.
Oh, that's a word to use. I
mean, this was an amazing day, to say the least. Congratulations to Indiana University for an amazing victory there. That game was one of those games that I thought was going to go on forever.
I thought, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking, yeah, it was.
But that was awesome, y'all. I really, again, congratulations. You know, y'all are taking home a fantastic prize of $1,250 plus a sponsorship from none other than Built Bar, which is a pretty awesome surprise. I don't say so myself. It's been a great day for the audience as well. We've given away some fantastic products by Built. We've given away some G Fuel energy. There's been all sorts of uplinks flying around. And to wrap this up, I'd actually like to bring in another uplink. Riptide, can you throw me up an uplink on screen?
I just really love.
Yeah, we also just...
No, that's.
And we're back. There is a uplink coming up here on the screen next to me in just one moment. It should be our final one. There is a Blizzard Entertainment gift card for $20. There's so many great things
that one,
you can do with a Blizzard Entertainment gift card.
You can do so many things. I'm a Blizzard girl. We know this, but
there's all sorts of Warcraft and Starcraft and the heroes, but also if you are a fan of Warzone, you could also spend it there. There's so many great things to do with that gift card.
There sure are. And can I just, before we move on from the last game, like cheat code. Hello? Hello?
Amazing.
What? I was like, what is happening? Like
that little clutch diffuse there at the end, it was pretty crazy. I didn't know if that was gonna make it through, but then that shot from the window, done. I
was impressed. And also just, I don't know, I'm speechless about it. Honestly, at this point,
Well, Elvie, I think you had another little contest to announce as well, right?
I do. So I want to thank everyone in the community who helped out because, you know, recently we've been trying to help our creators who have been trying to get the Respawn recruit position. So we've been helping out Monkey and Vandy, and the community really came in and helped us retweet it. We made a little video. So everyone who participated in that, thank you so much. You know that we love to support our community and especially our creators. And we are giving out merch for a random person who retweeted that, and that happened to be Papa Donut, who is actually one of our creators as well. So congrats to Papa Donut. I will get with you on sizes and all that. And I love seeing the community help each other. I've seen so many friendships form and so many, like, it's just been great. I love our community.
It is a great community. It is actively growing. If you're not a member of Aquatic Now, definitely head over to our Discord. There's all sorts of great things going on there. Or head to any of our Instagrams, whether it's mine at Neptune Gaming or over at Aquatic Esports, where you can find all sorts of great things about what we do here. I think this about wraps it for the Built Bar Cup. There is a lot more coming down the road. We'll be talking some about it this Thursday at my fireside chat, which you can always find at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But before I do that, I want to throw out another big thank you to everyone that made today possible. Of course, our sponsors, Built, but also to the one and only CommieWolverine and his new partner in crime, Xplo, for all that they have done today. That was some grade A commentating and some grade A talking for over 7 hours from both of them. And that is no easy task. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. You guys really made today possible, and that's really awesome. So thank you all.
Just happy to be alive at this point.
He deserves a LaCroix.
And of course, thank you to all the moderators that have joined us in Twitch chat, as well as the support team that's helped make this possible. And of course, thank you to Riptide, who has been keeping this machine rolling throughout the entire day. He also has been tied to his seat for about 7 hours to make sure that this ran without a hitch. And it's been a pretty awesome day.
7 hours and 43 minutes and 27 seconds, sir.
7 hours and 43 minutes and 27 seconds. So thank you, everyone. And of course, to you, the community, for joining us today to make this event possible. If you like this event, don't worry. There's going to be plenty more of them here at Aquatic Esports. Again, esports is in the name, so we're definitely going to do what we can to deliver more amazing events just like this one. And thank you, Elvie, for joining us here at Aquatic HQ to bring this event to all these fine people.
Thanks for having me. I feel honored, and I'm so happy to be a part of this community, and I can't wait to continue to watch it grow and hopefully be back at some point for the next tournament.
And one last thank you. I know I've been saying it a lot tonight, but the marketing team also has been out here. You've seen the girls putting together great things on Aquatic, on our socials, on our stories, across Twitter. So thank you, everybody. And of course, Trident is standing here with a camera right now, still filming the event and making all this come together. So it's been a great team. I'm so glad that today happened. Again, congratulations to Indiana University. Oh, and the MVP. I almost forgot. There is a MVP for today's event. And if I am not mistaken, there was a poll that ran. It was a community choice MVP. And it looks like Xenos won the MVP.
It was.
So,
and for good reason, because he was amazing.
There was some fantastic gameplay there. So congratulations. Elvie's going to be reaching out to you shortly with some details about what you get to take home for that prize. So thanks again, everybody. I'm so glad you joined us here at the Built Bar Cup for Aquatic Esports. I will see you sometime in the near future. But as always, I'm Neptune, and I'll see you in the arena.